Welcome back to MLG Classics, where we're tracking down the best StarCraft 2 games in MLG history. We got 32 of them. You guys know the drill. Here's the bracket. The 2 of 4 brackets involving 8 different games. We just saw Polt versus Hyun in the 2013 MLG Spring Championship. Pretty epic game. Going up against Polt versus Hyun is going to be Flash versus Parting. The 2013 MLG Winter Championship. Flash defeated Bly and Rhett to get to this point. Parting defeated State and Sen. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Flash, of course, premier player from Kespa. Everyone's like, how damaging is he going to be? How good is this guy? And, of course, Parting, the guy who destroyed people in Wings of Liberty. Can he take down Flash? We're about to find out as we hop into Game 1. Commentated by Axeltoss and Axslav. Let's get into it.
Planet S, representing SK Telecom T1. Actually, that is KT Rolster's Flash. The red tag. And in the bottom left, this is our player representing SK Telecom T1. He is the blue Protoss player, Parting. I'm okay to have one of those in the beginning.
Yes.
Won't happen again, though, I promise.
Everyone's got to get it out of their system, you know. Planet S is going to be a map where I think a lot of the theme is going to be what can Parting do off 2 bases, or if he chooses to take a 3rd base, how can he defend it? Because that 3rd base there, it's very easy with the medevac to jump from the 3rd to the main from a Terran perspective. From a Protoss perspective, on the defensive end, it's very hard for your ground forces to move between the 3rd and the main.
You know, I think Party's going to have some fancy stuff for us before we even get to that point, perhaps. You know, Neoplanet S is a smaller-ish map in this map pool compared to, like, you know, a Whirlwind, compared to a Daybreak. There's 2 attack paths as well. I feel like early game scouting is going to be very important. Also, I'm interested to see, all right, are we going to see a fast Nexus? Are we going to see a fast command center? I feel like it's much more likely to see a fast command center here from Flash. He's one of those guys who, he'll get those fast expansions, and then he'll have the ability to defend anything that's really thrown at it.
Look at this double gas before core from Parting.
Yep.
Very, very gas-heavy opening that pretty much signifies he's going to open with some type of tech, either fast mothership core or perhaps going straight into a Twilight Council Stargate, something of that sort. Will Flash be prepared for this, and how will he respond?
Got to scout it, and he's sending that SCV across the map. Meanwhile, we have a probe poking at the front door of Flash, taking a zap at that supply depot. But, you know, for you new players at home, this is a very standard play. Get those 2 supply depots up in that barracks. Of course, that denies scouting from the Protoss. It keeps them in the dark. But, you know, considering we have this very fast gas opening from Parting, it may not matter as much to him. It implies that, you know, he has a tech structure that he's definitely looking to go for. And, you know, it remains to be seen whether or not he's going to deviate from that based on what he sees. Of course, he only has 2 guys in gas here, 2 guys on each gas. Now, he's doing this so he can optimize his mineral production before really saturating into 3. So this means he might get a faster Nexus out as well, maybe get a Sentry out, maybe a couple Stalkers, but still nothing obvious happening. Well, he did get a relatively early mush, of course, so he might do a little bit of light aggression.
A very fast core out there. It's going to head across the map. At the very least, get some scouting. Of course, Flash will have the Marine count by the time it crosses the map to deal with it. 2 Marines are going to be defending that bunker to stop a Stalker poking from the front. And then with their reactor on the barracks, Flash will make Marines, again, 2 at a time to defend the core, which will probably strike more to back Flash's base.
It's a pretty cool build. You Protoss players at home, if you're looking to find a nice, safe expansion build, the Mothership Core, you can feel pretty safe once you get that guy on the field. You can get your early scouting done. You know, you can do exactly what Parting is doing here. He's going straight for the back of Flash's base, not only to scout potential tech structures, but to get a count of the number of gases, maybe get a couple SCV kills, maybe, you know, distract some probes or some Marines from the front door of the natural, get them to come into the main, and then maybe you can attack in the front. And of course, you can always use Photon Overcharge back on. If you ever feel scared, if you ever see, you know, scary Marines and Marauders coming out a little bit early, Photon Overcharge, a very good utility for your Nexus, so very safe expansion build here from Parting.
He also, I mean, the scouting there from the core there, he noticed exactly the gas intake of Flash. Flash, of course, progressing up to that starport, going for Widow Mines, potentially going to see Widow Mine drop. We saw MVP use that very effectively. Is Flash going to go for the same build? Most likely he is. I can't see anything other than that medevac coming out, and I assume once he gets the medevac, he's going to use it to drop those Widow Mines out. But partying already with a Stargate in play, already getting that Oracle, and if those Widow Mines are used in draw play aggressively, they're not going to be back at home to defend against the potential Oracle harassing his main.
Got some Marines scouting around here for Flash. He's not seen the Stargate just yet. Very nice positioning there by Parting, of course. As pros play, you want to hide those things. You don't want your Terran opponent scouting those because then they know what you're doing. You don't want that. And what is he going to make out of there? I think he already made something, didn't he? Looks like he made a... Did he make anything? Am I blind? There it is. There's an Oracle.
There's the Oracle heading up across the left side of the screen. Oh, is the Marine going to spot it? The Marine, is he going to see it? It's on He does see it. He even takes a couple pot shots at it, and that's huge.
Well, these
for
Marines
Flash.
aren't back home defending the middle line, but there is a Widow Mine.
Yeah, I mean,
now
there's a Widow Mine, and the Widow Mine is basically just going to one-shot that Oracle. So the Oracle is going to do almost nothing. Unless it avoids the Widow Mine, it's going down.
There could be friendly fire on the SCVs, too, if the Oracle runs into the middle.
There could be. Friendly fire on SCVs is always something you have to watch out for. The splash damage from the Widow Mine doesn't one-shot SCVs, so you're not going to take too much damage.
Yeah.
And the great thing there is he had the Marines there at the bottom to protect that angle, the Widow Mine at the top of the middle line to protect that angle, and that Oracle did absolutely nothing so far. Of course, Parting, this wasn't like a one-base proxy Stargate Oracle. This was off of an expansion, and look at this. He's progressing straight to Colossi behind us. So a very tech-oriented Parting using the Oracle to keep his opponent at home while he goes for that very fast Colossi attack.
We have Flash getting a very early medevac, sending that to the left-hand side of the map, going to ignite those afterburners, go straight to the natural expansion, and Parting only has a sentry there. Flash going to drop 8 Marines. They do not have Stim. Very early push here, but Parting placing that photon overcharge onto the Nexus. Not going to be true. Oh my god, the medevac! Oh!
Barely gets out of vision using that the high ground cliff there to get outside of that range of the photon overcharge. Of course, it does have range 13 medevac. One more shot would have taken it out, but Flash is able to get out of there and preserve every single one of his units' lives. That medevac is very hurt, though. He might want to bring that back healed up, or he could just, he's going to bring it back to try to repair that. I mean, running around with a 12 hit point medevac is a very dangerous game as a Terran player.
Indeed. Definitely want to pair those, especially one that early with so much energy. It's going to be very helpful as the game goes along. Viking coming out here for Flash, trying to chase that Oracle, but Oracle a little bit too fast for that Viking. He's going to run out of there. And Flash, meanwhile, taking that third base. And we have those Colossi in production here for Parting. But again, we saw that Viking that could be a response to the Oracle, but that's going to be a little bit nice. Oh, and he has 2 Vikings on their way, so I think he definitely knows about this Colossi play. Or does he? Is that a Stargate reaction? What do you think?
It's really hard to tell. I mean, I don't think he's seen the Colossi yet, but actually maybe he scanned. I mean, Flash is known for his scans, right? I don't. Although
well, he didn't scan the Robo, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or the Robo Bay. So.
Yeah, he hasn't quite scanned that quite yet, but it is a party reaction to the airplay, and also it could be just getting a couple of Vikings out already is always a good idea. You can kill observers with them. You can control the Oracle space. And Flash is moving out to put on some pressure.
He has so many units over here. And remember okay, there's a photon overcharge onto the Nexus, but the Mother Core down to 76 energy. It should have enough energy by the time that that photon overcharge runs out, so you can use another one. But that's a lot of units from Flash outside of his opponent's natural expansion. Plenty of Marines, Marauders, 2 Vikings. He also has 2 medevacs as well. So there's always the threat of Flash jetting into his opponent's main base, which Parting is definitely aware of. He has his main army posturing around in his main base. Got 2 Colossi there, a few Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries. But Flash behind us again, taking a third base and continuing to reinforce.
We can see that drop threat, the way Parting is dealing with it is a very unique style. Instead of trying to cram out a ton of observers, which of course a Terran is going to snipe, he uses that revelation ability on a Terran army. So it's a key ability there. So wherever Flash goes with those units, Parting will know, and he'll be able to react accordingly. We can see he's actually also already going into Templar Archives, more Colossi on the way, +2 armor on the way. He's doing a very defensive, tech-heavy style, and using the revelation ability, he can exactly know where to defend on the map to react to Flash's aggression.
He's been on 2 bases for a long time, and he's investing into a lot of stuff all on 2 bases. Like, not only do we have Double Forge, not only do we have Fast Colossi, we have Charge on the way, we have a High Templar Archives in production, and he's doing all of this on only 4 gas. So really staying, you know, low econ right now, but trying to get those power hitting units, those heavy hitting units out on the field. Maybe once he does that, he'll feel safe to go out and take a third. But in the meantime, Flash, he already has his third base down. So Flash is going to have a pretty significant economic advantage. But, you know, as far as the grand scheme of things, how much that matters, well, it's going to come down to unit control. If Flash ends up losing a lot of Marines and Marauders for free to parting, then it's not necessarily a terrible thing that he's down in economy, as long as he gets those very cost-efficient trades.
That's exactly what Party will be looking for. Storm is halfway done. Templar moving forward, looking for a potential feedback there. Flash is known for getting Ghost Academy very late in PvP. Moving in here.
Force field's going down. Photon Overcharge is going to be deployed there. Marines and Marauders getting hit by that. It's about 8 Vikings overhead here for Flash. Knows about that Colossi count. They're trying to hide in the back. More force fields going down. Trying to delay time for that Storm to get out. He has High Templars on the field, but Storm just about to finish. So Parting will get enough time to get that out. Also putting a third Nexus down. Sneaking that probe by Flash's army. Very nice move there. Also, Flash loading up 3 medevacs. The revelation is no longer on those units, so Parting doesn't necessarily know about this.
Flash being very sneaky with his medevac play. One thing Parting's invested in so much different tech trees. He has not quite gotten Blink yet. Charge, Colossi, Storm, but no Blink, which means that these drops are going to be very hard for him to deal with. Now the 3 medevacs are zooming in. The Observer spots him, but what can Parting do to get back here in time?
His Colossi are way in the back, and here's the drop into the main base of Parting. Photon Overcharge going down. The Colossi are there to defend, and Flash is going to have to back up. There's a feedback on a medevac. Parting dealing with that drop without too many issues, but here comes Flash into the natural expansion. Vikings targeting down the oh-so-expensive Colossi. 1 going down, 2 going down. Parting trying to extend those Zealots out to take care of this Bio-Forge from Flash, but he's just going to kite away. No more Colossi there. The Storm is not going down just yet here from Parting, trying to get in range, but Flash just keeps kiting away. There's the Storm, only hitting half the army, hitting the majority of his Zealots, but Parting going to have to back away. Flash, the 147 to 106 supply advantage.
Flash's macro impeccable as always. His micro really impressive there, dealing with that little Zealot run by Edister base. It's amazing there how he knows perfectly exactly what a Templar can do. Always keeping his bio army just out of range of that Storm while picking off those Zealots. Back on aggression now, he's heading forward, trying to heal up just a little bit. The Mobius reactor upgrade is on the way, so this Ghost will come out with an EMP ready once he chooses to produce him. Probably going to wait a few more seconds to produce him so that that upgrade is done when they finish. Marauders coming out 5 at a time, Marines at 6. Third attack up around the way.
There's no Ghosts here just yet. Flash is going to try to kite away from this.
Flash don't need Ghosts, man.
It's not the biggest army. It doesn't look like the biggest army at least, but it's going to be enough to try to engage. Parting here at his natural expansion. High Templar is trying to get those Storms down, but Flash can just kite back all day long and even preemptively splitting those units to try to dodge those Storms. But Flash, he's up 185 to 130 in that supply.
One thing Flash doesn't know about is that third base. He's going to try to drop into main, but Parting's all over it.
Never mind.
Get out of there. Feedback goes down, takes out one of the medevacs. Storm goes down as well, but that Templar is going to pay for his audacity trying to handle a Terran army by himself with his life. Flash put on so much pressure here, but still doesn't know about Parting's secret third base. I mean, I feel it shouldn't be secret.
I think he's going to find out soon. A minor altercation here in the middle of the map. Flash continuing to cut away. There's a great Storm onto the Marines and Marauders, and Parting is going to back up. Very tense game, very tense moments here. I feel like if Flash has scouted that third base, he'd at least send those 4 Marauders are at the top to take care of that. But meanwhile, Flash taking another base at the middle right-hand side, and he's continuing to apply pressure to Parting. Parting seems like he's always a little bit on the back foot here, trying to barely stay alive. Another Storm going onto the Marines and Marauders. Another Storm. Great Storms here from Parting. Now he's choosing to engage as an Immortal in here as well, but Flash, he can just kite away all day long. Has about 70 medevacs above this bio army, not even messing around with keeping those bio units alive. And the Vikings lurking overhead, looking out for those Colossi. And Flash is going to be starting to incorporate those Ghosts into his army, 5 of them in the production tab. And he just has a ridiculous supply advantage. It's going to be so tough for Parting to come back here.
Flash doesn't even need Ghosts. His micro is so good, dipping and dodging throughout those Storms, kiting against his Zealots perfectly, focusing down the Archon. Now the Marauders are charging in here, trying to take out that Immortal. The Immortal goes down, a few more charge shots left, but with that medevac count and the great kiting micro of Flash, I don't know if that will be enough from Parting.
All right, Militia Corps here. There's a great storm onto the Marauders, but it doesn't do as much damage as the Marines. Time Warp and a storm onto the Marines. The Ghost coming forward here now. Flash, I feel like he needs to get his army together. Doesn't want to send him in one by one into the Protoss side of the map. Has he? He still hasn't scouted that third base, which I'm a little bit surprised by, but it might not even matter. EMP going down onto the Archon. It's going to melt away in a matter of seconds. Chargelash trying to close the distance in between those Bioforces. The Mothership Core getting sniped, so he will not have Photon Overcharge to use onto this Nexus. Storm's trying to get down there. A great Storm onto the Marines and Marauders. Parting barely staying alive here.
Forcing Flash back, and the supply lead has actually narrowed a bit. Flash is up by 30 supply earlier, who is up by more than that. Party adding Dark Shrine, continue with his attack upgrades. Party's actually going to be looking to get 3-3 slightly before Flash. Flash right now on 3-2, Party on 2-3. Pro's being transferred. Party, though, is very zealot heavy. He doesn't have many stalkers to deal with the medevacs. He has some feedbacks, but the medevacs don't have the energy to die to feedback. Storm's going down. What a crazy game.
Hitting all the ghosts there. Parting dealing with the drop, staying in this game. Flash finally identifying the third base at the middle left. A Marine being sent up there to scout out the area, but Flash is still up one base on his opponent. Continuing with the Marine and Marauder production, continuing with the upgrades. Now pressing forward towards his opponent's natural expansion. Storm went down onto the Marines and to the Ghosts. EMP's nailing the Immortals, and now Flash is going to be on the run. The Charge Lots in a hot pursuit. The High Templar staying a little bit back. Don't want to get EMP'd by those Ghosts. But Parting is still going to be restricted to his natural expansion here. Flash refusing to allow him any room to breathe.
Flash has that contain going solid. Now he's moving for the third base that he knows is here. There's two Templar there to defend. Both have a Storm in about 2 seconds. Now the Storm is up, but Flash does have Ghost. He's going to back away, though, knowing that his units are hurt.
Parting taking out a few reinforcements here from Flash. That's definitely a good thing. A Dark Templar going in right as the scan is thrown down. Time Warp onto the Bio Army. That's going to enable those Charge Lots to get up close and personal. Flash continuing to try to kite away. The Mother Score very vulnerable, going to be taken down there. He's going to have to remake that very soon, but Flash still retains a supply advantage. Parting desperately trying to stay in this game. 2 High Templars are still at his third base. Nice Storm there from Parting. 2 more Dark Templars being sent in, but there are scans everywhere. Parting trying to stay alive with his Dark Templar play. Has a Storm there. It gets a great Storm onto the Marines and Marauders. So tense of a game here. Parting, again, he's just trying to stay alive. Like, he's trying to take a fourth at the top left, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold that.
It's a very smart move, though. The odds of Flash kind of aren't too high. If Flash scouts it, he will take it out, but if he doesn't, that's going to be the key move that brings Party into this game. DT here at the third doing damage. Turret can spot it, but there's no units from Flash to kill it. SCVs have to be pulled. Flash is sending his army back, and now Party has the space he needs to try to... looks like Flash is having a little bit of PC problems or network or something. Party looking around, checking out what's going on, and Party has to be feeling more and more confident as the game goes on. He was under so much pressure early, but over the last about 3 minutes, his defense has become very solid. He's pushed Flash back. He's landed a lot of great Storms. He's closed the supply gap. Of course, he doesn't really obviously know exactly Flash's supply. His upgrades are at 3-3 now. He's maxed on that, so he can spend all of his gas on those important tech units.
I'm so impressed with Parting right now. I mean, I'm looking at the supply. It's 149 to 134 in favor of Flash.
Flash looks unimpressed, man. that is the face of a man who is not particularly impressed. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I missed scouting the third. It's taking me a little longer, but we'll make it work.
I mean, not five StarCraft minutes ago, 8 StarCraft minutes ago, Flash was up like 180 to 130. So I think Parting has been doing a great job this game, being cost efficient, right? Using those High Templar, using those Colossi in the beginning, to really bring himself back into the game, because that's what you have to do if you're behind. You have to be very cost efficient. Looks like we're going to try to figure out the issues very shortly here, guys. Thank you so much for being patient. Of course, we do have the take command feature that Altercure
Storm.
About that, Flash aggressive capabilities.
There's no Doom drop coming. Big game turnaround. In fact,
Flash is forced to scan. Ouch, some Ghosts getting caught off guard here. A little bit of a miss rally there from Flash. Again, trying to get his army together. Same time, Medevac's going into the main base here of Flash. There is a Dark Templar there. High Templar throwing down the feedback onto the Medevac. And again, this is a great utility of the Dark Templars once again, because Flash is going to be forced to use a scan if he wants to fend that off. Meanwhile, we see Parting advancing up the top side of the map, poking forward with that Observer, trying to find out, all right, where are those Ghosts? Where do I need to expend these feedbacks with my High Templar? Now extending forward. There's a scan from Flash saying, get out of here, Observer. I don't want you here. And Parting going up into his opponent's main base, and it looks like he's going to try to keep the High Templars behind, throwing down a Storm onto that Bio Army. The command center is going to have to be lifted and moved away.
Party here denying the third base from Flash. Remember, Flash still has that fourth. Plenty of mules there. The SCVs are. Wait, did they get up the ramp? Did they see the fourth base?
Oh, they're all going to die.
Oh, the Immortals laying out some firepower. SCVs sculling away. Flash is going to retake that third base.
Parting has a supply lead, I think, for the first time in this game.
Oh, just there, it's gone.
Oh, well.
I mean, but that's Flash there, right? Flash always is so on top of his macro there. Flash has a very Ghost-heavy army pushing forward here, and Party has no Colossi in his composition currently. Oh, a beautiful Storm!
Soaking up a lot of those Ghosts. The Ghosts extending forward. They're looking for any additional height. That's a lot of Ghosts in that composition, but here comes Parting with 3 Immortals, an Archon, a Dark Templar mixed in here as well. EMP's being blanketed on the Archon. Oh, great Storm there from that High Templar, but the Bio from Flash is still alive. Plenty of Medevacs above to heal, but those Marines and Marauders getting very low in health. Parting just needs another Money Storm. There's a scan onto Parting's army once again, but here comes that Dark Templar. Flash needs to scan again. The Immortal is going to retreat hastily, but it looks like that top base is going to be forfeit.
Such a key moment for Flash here. Party's down to a single mining base. Flash's army looks incredibly strong. Party's trying to go for the counterattack with a small squadron, but there's no Storms with that army. 2 Templar lagging behind a bit. What he's going to try to do is he's going to try to get Flash to retreat blindly and then Storm Flash's army as it retreats. Take note here, our Templar is waiting.
Oh, High Templar!
Beautiful
Storm there from Party. Oh my God! So many Bio units dying. That was absolutely perfect for Parting. He also has a High Templar. The middle right, I think he just killed a bunch of SCVs there at the middle right expansion. He had a pylon there at the bottom right. So, oh my God, that is exactly what Parting needed, but he's still behind in supply, 120 to 96. Still has some work to do in this game, but that was a great step in the right direction here.
It was. As soon as that top left dot, I thought Party had no chance, proving us wrong there with an amazing set of moves, both on the harass on the right side and the Storms on the left. Basically what he did is he attacked Flash's natural, and Flash's attention was at the natural at that moment while he was microing his force against those Zealots, and when the attention was distracted, Parting struck with the Storms and did devastating damage, but as it stands, Flash is still ahead. 4 bases to 3. He still has a supply lead of about 30 now. He's got plenty of Ghosts in the army. Parting needs a couple more moves like that to pull this one out.
Now, there are 2 Vikings on the field here. There's a Colossus in play here from Parting. Going to be advancing up to that top map, the top side of the map again. It's an orbital command, not a planetary fortress, so Parting is going to be able to deny that. What a back and forth game 1 here of this best of 5 we have. This is the first match of Championship Sunday. What a phenomenal start indeed. We have another Storm. Oh my God.
Parting Storms are just spot on. Flash is, he looks like he's so far ahead, but Parting just will refuse to not kill everything with Storm. Like if he has Templar, they're gonna do critical damage. Flash adding Vikings 4 at a time, now recognizing there's a couple Colossi, actually there's a single Colossus and Parting's army. Parting is basically out of money though. I mean, his
he's starving,
man.
Out. He's starving on those resources.
His third is very low, starting a Nexus at the top left. That Nexus there at the top left is his lifeline. He needs to keep that alive. Flash on the other hand going strong on 4 bases. Parting making a move on that planetary on the right side. Flash's army is up at the top. That planetary may fall.
Ooh, Time Warp and a Storm there going down, trying to defend that top location. But yes, here comes the Protoss army into this planetary fortress, trying to take it down. The SCV is desperately trying to repair, but they're going to have to run away. Colossus getting a good amount of damage done. Meanwhile, we have a drop in the top left, trying to take care of that expansion. Flash also realizing the majority of his opponent's army is at the bottom, so he's going to attack to the top left. Meanwhile, Parting, seeing this, is going to attack toward his opponent's main base. A little bit of a base tradey situation here. One of these players is going to have to decide to back up. It's going to be Flash. He's going to back up, does not want to lose any of his infrastructure.
It's really going to come down to this main engagement here. Both players are basically mining very little right now. Flash is actually mining significantly less than Party, with his third being
He's going to
mined
try
out.
to run. Flash is going to try to cut him off. There are no High Templar. Actually, there are 2 High Templars there. EMP's hitting him, though. Morphing into Archon incredibly fast. And now Flash is going to be pursuing Parting across the map. Parting wants nothing to do with this bio army. Colossus being very brave, going to turn around, realizing he's going to die, but going to save his friends.
Might as well take a few bio units out with him, right? He's like, well, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down, swing my laser beams left and right. Flash now moving towards that top left base, knowing he has to take that out because his right side planetary was knocked out. Orbital's moving there to retake that right side base. Bio army moving to the top left. Zealot's being caught off guard, but how many storms does Party have to hold off this massive army of Flash?
I'm looking for the High Templar. There's 3 High Templar on the field. Not entirely sure they are. There might be. There's 1 in his army. There's 1 in the middle right, but this 4th base is so important for Parting. It gets taken out. All the probes there might be forfeit as well. So Parting, he doesn't have any mining. There's no minerals to mine from for him.
Very, very low in mine here. Parting's third is mined out. Flash's third has been mined out, but that orbital has already moved, heading towards the top left. He's going to retake the base. Party's been struggling to take this entire game.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, of course, on the right side, Flash has moved another orbital down there, mining the last of that base. Party going for the counterattack. Desperation in his moves here. Moto's trying to land shots on the high ground. Flash raises the depot.
No.
Party's army may get cornered here as Flash is defending from the high ground. Rally units from the main come in, as well as his army's retreating. Party desperately trying to get out of there before he gets hit from 2 sides.
2 Immortals taken out there. Parting going to turn around and try to engage. There's the GG from Parting. Flash taking game number 1. Very inspiring play. Soaked up a few storms.
And that is going to do it there for game 1 between Flash and Parting. Wow, awesome game there on Neo Planet S. The question is that game good enough to be titled the best StarCraft 2 game in MLG history? That's for you to decide. For now, this is the round of 32. So Flash versus Parting going up against Polt versus Hyun. You've seen both matches. It is now time to vote. Get on Twitter, hashtag MLG, hashtag Polt versus Hyun if you feel that should be advancing to the round of 16, or hashtag MLG, hashtag Flash versus Parting if you feel that game should advance to the round of 16. That being said, let's take one final look at that bracket as we are out of time. So that is going to be our last game of the evening. I know we still have In Control versus Illusion and Idra versus Boxer. That will happen tomorrow, first thing, 1 p.m. Eastern. If you're not there, I'm going to be personally offended. Not really, but you should. You know, they're great games. They're great games. You should be there, 1 p.m. Eastern. Twitch.tv/MLGSE2. And also, we have bracket 3 and 4 to get through as well. So still a lot of awesome StarCraft 2 content coming your way here as we try to find out which is the absolute best StarCraft 2 game in MLG StarCraft 2 history. That's going to do it, guys, for today. This has been Axeltoss. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, if you missed anything, youtube.com/official MLGSE2. Also, we have a rebroadcast coming up right after this concludes. So if you missed anything from earlier in the day, stick around. I got you covered. That being said, we'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern with more awesome